Hello, this is lead faculty Effi Karakaidos. I'll be going over uh, some recording options for video feedback essentially, and mainly editing captions in YouTube. I am pre-recording this mainly because it does take some time for captions to populate in YouTube automatically, and that can be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes or so. So I'll just be using some pre-existing videos. First, I would like to point you to a presentation that I did in July. If you go to the Faculty Training Center and look at for credit, there's an archive of the 12 at 12 sessions. And the previous recording I did, or presentation, was Screencast-O-Matic, YouTube, closed captions, and embedding video. So I'm very quickly going to just review some of those, but you're also welcome to re-review that link as well. So I like to use Screencast-O-Matic for video feedback. You do need to be online to use it. It's completely free for the free version. That allows up to 15 minutes of recording time. The pro version allows for unlimited time for $1.50 a month. I have never used the paid version, by the way. So simply open that, press your start recording button, and then launch recorder. And that, on a Mac anyway, brings up the little pop-up. I just press on open link here, and that brings up the record window. You can choose screen, webcam, or both. The max time will not change from 15 minutes if you're using the free version like I am. You have choices in size. I always use full screen, and then you can set up your mic preferences. I just use the built-in mic on the computer, and the sound quality I have found to be pretty good. So when I'm ready, I go ahead and press the little record button on the bottom left. It gives me a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then starts recording. Okay, let's see. Down here, this little pause icon will come on when you're in the process of recording. It will tell you running how many minutes and seconds you are into the recording. When you're finished, you simply press on the pause button, and that will either just pause it or allow you the option of choosing done. So just press on the pause, then choose done. These options will come up. You do need to tell Screencast-O-Matic what your YouTube channel settings are. I've only done that once. I've never had to re-enter it after having made over 1,000 videos, and I've never lost a single video in this process. So you have the option to upload to YouTube, upload to Screencast-O-Matic, but that's only with the pro version, or save as a video file. It just saves as an MP4. So I choose upload to YouTube and publish. Okay. That brings up this publish to YouTube, Screencast-O-Matic icon. It's this little round icon right here. It tells you the progress. It's very quick, generally, depending on the length and content of the video. It's usually within a few minutes, even up to a 15-minute video. It will tell you when it's done. Simply click on done. And then I go over to my YouTube page. Right. The first thing I always like to do, by the way, it will come up by default as the recording number, and it might be processing if you go to the YouTube page right away. If it says 90%, 80%, it's best to wait until it actually says it's complete and finished. So the first thing I do is click on the little earth symbol, which is public. Next, I change it right away to unlisted. I prefer unlisted because that allows anyone who has the link to view it, but it's not searchable to the public. I find that's very important to put it unlisted right away. I then go ahead and change the name. I generally use a student's initials and then the milestone and task, for example. Next, I like to copy the URL right away from that area and just paste it into a Word doc, and I'll come to that later. Then I generally press the back button and then click on the video itself right here in the video manager area, and that will bring up the play option, and I choose share, and this little area comes up. I then choose embed, and the embed code comes up. I then put that on the clipboard and paste it into the Word document with the short student introduction. I then go to the classroom, reply, paste that information into that area. I then, let's see, cut essentially the embed code, choose insert stuff, which is the little play button here. I then need to scroll down and choose enter embed code, paste that embed code into that field, insert, and post. And then that's ready to play right in the classroom. One option as well, if a student plays the video straight from the classroom, they might not have the closed caption option. So if you have a student that you know is using closed captions or possibly hearing impaired or deaf, you could direct them to play the link in YouTube rather than view in the classroom. Okay, so next I'm going to go to actual editing of captions in YouTube. You might have a question about when it would be needed to edit captions in YouTube. Generally, what I suggest is going ahead and after you've made a regular feedback video, assuming it's not a hearing impaired student or someone who has asked for some kind of a disability accommodation, you can go ahead and these three little dots, choose open transcript, and just read over briefly the captions to ensure that there are no huge missteps or auto-correct type things that are offensive or very confusing or something like that. Otherwise, to actually edit the captions, you would click on either the public or now unlisted icon, right? And in YouTube, generally the captions populate automatically, but it does take a few minutes. So in this view, and if you know you're doing something important, such as a tutorial that you're going to use class over class, or you have a video for a hearing impaired or deaf student, you can go ahead and click on Subtitles CC and click on English, and then go ahead and click on Edit. You generally won't need to actually hear the sound when doing this, but if you edit, if you're very particular about proper punctuation and want to model behavior such as that, you can go ahead and add capitalizations and commas and so forth, and periods. Otherwise, you can just read it over and look for anything that might be off and just make those corrections. So, hi Michael, thanks for reposting here. I could go ahead and add the period and make them into actual sentences if I wanted to. As I mentioned, the zip folder previously posted had the previous task in it. So even though the folder was milestone 5, task 2 the task 1 was in there. So just very briefly make changes, or more meticulously if you feel the need, and go ahead and save changes, and that will update the captions. Right. So that's about it. It's a pretty simple process. It might take some getting used to, just knowing where exactly to click. Just as a very quick review, just simply clicking on the little icon here, unlisted, you'll have the option to click on subtitles CC, and it might ask you to select a language here. English. This one was created pretty recently. It was just a few minutes ago, so they might not actually be there yet. That's why I like to wait several minutes. So going back to the previous item I looked at, those had already been there. English, edit. You can see the changes I did make are already there, and save changes. Okay, so fairly simple. You don't have to be a video editor or anything of that sort to update the captions in YouTube. Right, hope this helps. Have a great day. Thanks.